Welcome back. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how to install an axle into the tyre true and begin to sand your tyres. For the demonstration I'm going to be using a inline axle which has been removed from a Scalextric's Formula 1 type car, but it's pretty much the same for all your axles. Basically we start by taking the slotted pulley and sliding it over the axle assembly. We then take our Allen key and clamp the slotted pulley onto the axle. That has allowed us to put our drive belt onto the axle without the need to remove the wheels from the axle. Simply pinch the drive belt on the pulley between your fingers, remove the sanding plate, pass the drive belt through the machine and hook it over the drive pulley. Then by pinching on the end of the axle, simply stretch the drive belt and place it into the V-slots on the axle carrier. Now before we turn the power on, we need to just make sure that the bushes are sitting in the V-slots. It's important to check that, because if you don't and you turn the machine on and allow the axle to spin in the V-slots rather than the bushes, you will cause wear to the aluminium carrier, and over time the machine will lose its accuracy. So just double check that that's always the case. Pays to just put a drop of oil onto your bushes and then we can turn on the machine. So turning on the power supply, you might be able to see that the axle is now spinning freely. The tyres are spinning, the axle is spinning in the bushes, and the variable power supply allows me to raise and lower the speed that axle spins in the machine. Once we're happy that everything's right, we can set our power at about, for a rubber tyre, we can start off at about 5 or 6 volts. We can always go up if we need to. Simply lower the axle carrier using the adjustment screw until you'll actually hear the motor load up when the tyres hit the abrasive paper, and then by sliding the sanding plate backwards and forwards we're eliminating the possibility of any high spots being on the sandpaper. Now the trick is to go nice and steady. If you go too hard you'll load up the machine and you'll overheat your tyres. You should be able to see rubber being removed, and by watching the colour of the tyres I can actually tell when those tyres become flat. You can see the build-up of rubber on the machine and on my hand, so we know that the material is being removed. And once we feel that tyre is flat, we can raise the axle carrier and that removes it from the abrasive paper. Now if I was going to use this car for racing, what I would do is just take a nail file and just radius off the edges of the tyres so that they're not too square. But basically that's how easy it is to install an axle and sand your tyres on the tyre true machine.